One of the greatest sandwiches of all time would have to be the BLT, bacon, lettuce, tomato. I love it. And I'm going to take that concept and make it into a BLT salad. Super delicious. I'm also going to add a few extra ingredients like lovely avocados and some chicken. And I'm going to cook it all in the air fryer. So we'll start with the chicken because that's going to take the longest to cook in the air fryer. You'll need 2 chicken thighs. I've left the skin on. If you can't find chicken thighs with the skin on, just regular chicken thigh is fine. Now, when you're cooking in an air fryer, you don't need to preheat. It heats up so fast, much faster than an oven. So we're going to place our chicken thighs into the basket. Okay, skin side up. And you can see this is a large capacity air fryer, so it's great to feed a whole family. Place that in, and you'll see that there's a chicken function, and we just let the air fryer do all the work. So I'm going to allow that chicken to cook for about 8 to 10 minutes before I add the bacon. I don't want to be adding the bacon now because it'll overcook. So we just want everything to cook in stages. I'm also going to cook the bread in the air fryer. So BLT is usually the sandwich. So instead of making this into a sandwich, I want some bread still in this recipe, but I'm going to make croutons instead of soft bread. And I love the crunchiness of the croutons. So this is just sourdough. I've removed all of the crust, and this is about 2 to 3 days old. You want it to be quite dry so it gets super crispy. And I'm just going to cut this into just really rough cubes. You can even tear this if you like. And I want to oil this bread so it goes quite golden as an air fry. So another glug of extra virgin olive oil, and you can always season it, so a little pinch of salt, and massage that oil into our croutons. And they're ready to go at the last minute. So we'll pop them to one side. All right, for a creamy dressing to go with our salad, this has a bit of an American twist to it. I'm adding some American mustard. I like the American mustard for this dressing because it's got some sweetness to it. So we want about a tablespoon. To this, we'll add some sour cream. Sour cream in dressings is just sensational. So about 2 tablespoons of the sour cream. To this, some lemon juice and the zest of some of the lemon. It's going to give it a lovely acidic punch. And the juice. Good squeeze in there. And to give this some extra tang, I love the addition of some apple cider vinegar and some garlic powder. I'll season this with a pinch of salt and give that a really good mix. Okay, while we wait for that chicken to cook, I'm just going to prepare some of my veggies. So tomatoes, I'm using these gorgeous little cherry tomatoes. I'm just going to cut them in half, and I'll also cut lovely wedges of avocado. All right, I've just been prepping some avocado. This is a really great tip that I love to show everyone. To make it easier to take the skins off, cut your avocado in half and then into quarters, and you'll see the skins come off so much easier. So pop them into the corner. We don't want them to go brown, so I suggest grabbing some lemon and just giving that a bit of a squeeze. All right, this chicken smells fantastic. Let's have a look at it. Oh yes. That is almost cooked, which means it's time to add our bacon. I must say, the air fryer cooks chicken so well. See how blistered that skin is? That's what we're after. So in with some bacon, I'm using some double smoked bacon, and we'll just place them in and around our chicken. And then we're going to cook this for another 2 to 3 minutes before adding our croutons. They can just go on top of the chicken and bacon, and they take moments to cook. All right, we have all our elements ready to go to prepare our salad. Look how crispy that chicken is, golden croutons that are so crunchy, and our bacon. Now, before I start chopping the bacon and the chicken, let's start assembling the salad on our platter. I've got a cos lettuce, and what I'm going to do is just cut them into half. I love how beautiful the presentation is for here. So I'm just going to again cut them so we've got quarters. and then loosen up the leaves and we can place them onto our platter. Okay, so that's our base. To this we're going to add all of our avocado wedges and our tomatoes. What's a BLT without the tomato? And with the tomatoes, I always like to season them just with a pinch of salt and let them stand for about 3 to 4 minutes before adding them to the salad. Their flavour will really come out if they're salted beforehand. That's looking quite pretty. Now onto the chicken. It's rested nicely. And listen to this. Chicken crackling. It's the best and it's just done so well in that air fryer. It's cooked perfectly and it's rested. And I'm just going to cut this into really rough chunks. So I'll cut that into 4 and we're serving it with this chicken crackling. Okay, while that cools down slightly, because we don't want to add really hot chicken to our salad, that'll take moments to cool down. I'll grab some rashers of bacon and we're just going to roughly chop that again. Okay, on with our croutons. They've cooled down. In and around our salad. Texture is super important with salad, so lots of croutons. And our bacon. It's little pockets of bacon. And our chicken. And our dressing. Give that another quick mix. And I just like to drizzle this over the top. Just letting it get into all the little nooks and crannies so it dresses all the leaves in there, the chicken, and of course you could serve this on the side too, just some extra sauce. And there's one last thing that I like to add to a BLT salad, and that's some basil. Usually you'd find the basil in the actual dressing, but I like to use just a small amount if you have on standby, just to finely chop and sprinkle over the top. It goes so nicely with the tomatoes and that dressing. It smells so good. That is a truly addictive salad, taking the components of that very famous BLT sandwich and making it into a salad that you actually want to eat. This one is going to be a crowd pleaser.